of Misfits.
Hey everybody, we're back. It is day 7. Brandon is still holding on.
Not
to
doing
his
so
one
well
point.
this year.
You still have a shot. It's okay. You've discovered this was harder than you thought when I originally proposed this to you.
I'd be curious of the listeners at home of how they've also been doing.
Let us know if you've been doing as good as Brandon or not.
This reminds me of the game show. Don't forget the lyrics.
Yes, it very much is. That is kind of what we're doing here. It's a Christmas.
Kind of have the lyrics.
We're doing a Christmas Bible version of Don't Forget the Lyrics.
Throughout the lyrics.
So, day 7. You're a little unconfident in yourself now more than you are in the process. So
Yeah.
let's see.
Especially after yesterday, I was like, I gotta have one of these 3, and it was none of them.
Yeah. So let's see how we can do. Let's see if we can restore your faith in yourself today. And what do we have here?
All right, we're going to the classic, John chapter 3, verses 16 through 18.
So do you even need to look at it, or can you just?
I'm gonna pull it up to make sure there's nothing I miss.
Because again, you're not confident in yourself at the moment.
That's right.
Maybe this is what was needed to get you back.
I'm not trying to get the
buzzer on, just trying to do the words.
The angry bells already today.
All right, so it's a very short passage, but a very powerful passage.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we got?
All right. For God so loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him should not perish but have eternal life. For God did not send his son into the world to condemn the world, but in order that the world might be saved through him. Whoever believes in him is not condemned, but whoever does not believe is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the Son of God. I feel like this is harder than I think on finding the Christmas Carol.
So, and this is part of why we started off by even defining what the difference between Christmas song and Christmas Carol is. Because this is actually a very popular Christmas carol, but it is not a very popular Christmas song in terms of the fact that you hear it a lot. Not that that's going to help you come up with the title, but it should make you feel a little bit better about not recognizing it right off the top, right off the bat.
Other question. Are we still, we as in not you and I, collectively as a community, writing carols today? Or is it fairly
this isn't inspired writing, so it's not like the canon is closed on Christmas carols.
True, it sure seems like it though.
Yeah, I don't know that anybody has really written a carol in a while, just because we're not really culturally in a place where carols are going to make you any money off of it. The
True.
Closest thing you've got would be, you do have songs that could be classified as Christmas carols that are coming out of like the Gaithers or, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, people consider Mark Lowry's Mary Did You Know as a carol.
Mm.
However, as we're going to find later on, that's not really theologically sound. So
throw that one out if that's ever
throw that one out.
Coming up later.
There's a passage where I know that was immediately where you would go, and that's not it. So that has nothing to do with John 3:16, though. John 3:16. What are you thinking?
The one that initially pops in my head, I think we already did. Joy to the World.
It is not Joy to the World because we're not doing repeats.
Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't trick me like that.
No, I'm not that mean. I'm not that mean. All the time.
That's the one that initially came into my head.
Which is part of the fun of doing this in random order, is you never know what order you're going to be pulling these out.
True.
To do it. So,
and the hard part now, initially I was starting by trying to just uncover the lyric or the title of the song, but now I'm
not in there.
But now I'm realizing I need to more so have these lyrics down, which has made this more challenging. Because typically the lyrics are built throughout the song, not in the title.
So just give me a guess here. What are you thinking at least? Because this is to boil down the message of this. It's the gospel message, which doesn't help you when we're talking Christmas carols, because like we said, Christmas carols are focused on the nativity, which the nativity is focused on the gospel message. But what are you thinking just off the top? You said you wanted to joy of the world, but it's gone.
Yeah.
And that sounded much darker than I meant it to.
So we have the hope there still, which for me is looking pretty bleak for the 12 days.
I realized we're both wearing Darth Vader as I say, joy to the world is gone.
Yes. I don't know.
So I won't bell you because you didn't give me an answer.
Well, joy to the world would have been my answer.
Yes, which would have. I can give you half a point for that. We'll give you
because that's where I would have stood.
It's Christmas. We'll give you half a point. We're actually looking at Good Christian Men Rejoice, which again is a very popular Christmas carol, but it's not a very popular Christmas song.
Say, what's the name of it again?
Good Christian Men Rejoice, which is literally the first line of the song. Good Christian men rejoice with heart and soul and voice. Give ye heed to what we say. News, news, Jesus Christ is born today. Oxen ask before him bow, and he is in the manger now. Christ is born today. Christ is born today.
Yeah,
that part has nothing to do with John 3:16. The other verses, however, do. Good Christian men rejoice with heart and soul and voice. Now you hear of endless bliss. Joy, joy, Jesus Christ was born for this. He has opened the heavenly door, and man is blessed forevermore. Christ was born for this. Christ was born for this. Good Christian men rejoice with heart and soul and voice. Now ye need not fear the grave. Peace, peace, Jesus Christ was born to save. Calls you one and calls you all to gain his everlasting hall. Christ was born to save. Christ was born to save. That is the gospel message.
Mm-hmm.
Christ was born to save. What does it say? Why did Jesus come in John 3:16? He comes
to not condemn the world.
Not to condemn the world, to save the world. That is why he comes. Part of why this is not that common is because of the fact that we, again, have no idea who wrote it. This is Middle Ages era writing that was originally Latin and German, the Latin-German mix that you have with the monks. So we're pretty sure it was monks that wrote it. One guy claims to have wrote it, even though he's not one that most people are very trustworthy of. Heinrich Susa, circa 1328. So we're way, way back.
Mm-hmm.
But he claims that angels came down and gave him the lyrics. So not sure we really should trust his judgment as far as whether or not he wrote it. But there's also a lot of different translations and different versions and all this stuff. But the message stayed the same. That Christ was born for this. Christ was born to save. Which is the message of the gospel as a whole.
Yeah. That hymn,
that one was
that
a toughie.
carol was.
I knew that was going to be a rough one.
Dug deep in the archives of the brain.
I knew that one was going to be a rough one. That was one of the ones I told you that you probably were not going to get.
I think even if you would have played the lyrics of that song and had me guess the title, I still would have probably not given
Well,
it
you should have gotten the title since it literally is the first line of every single verse. But that's okay. That one was a rough one. I knew that one was going to be a rough one, but I figured that you may surprise us all and be like, I sing that every year. Yeah. I know this one.
It's our family tradition.
So it's our family theme song. So not off to a great start. This was day 7.
It's not even a start anymore.
Yeah, well, we're now past the halfway point, and so now it's done with the start. Now we're into the home stretch. Still have a point. We're not gonna flunk out. We have a point. We're okay. We have a point. So we'll see how this continues on tomorrow for day 8 of the 12 Days of Misfits.